So I will conclude chapter 4 with some real use case and examples. So you guys see how we structure each chapter, right? I will talk about the data structure of conference call first. I will talk about what language model you should use for conference call. And then we tell you the real examples, like in the real world, how we use conference call, right? So you can, every chapter is structured in this, you guys can see that, right? So we talk about the data structure. You understand this is Q&A, this is presentation, what contents, and then you understand what's the model we can use, and then we talk about the real case. So I'm talking about the two real case here, how we use conference call. The first one is, you guys can see that we can measure corporate culture using the conference call transcript. So what does it mean of the corporate culture? So basically, it's very difficult to measure culture of the firm. It's very difficult to see what's the firm's culture. But what these scholars, what they did is they use the machine learning and to evaluate the culture. So basically, they define the culture as the several dimensions. For example, do the company has innovation culture? Do the company focus on the product quality? Do the company has respect culture? Do the company has a teamwork culture? Do the company has an integrity culture? So these are the cultures the authors they get from the narratives of the manager, right? The manager talk about things, right? If manager talk about, oh, we have a great teamwork, that means they have a teamwork culture. If the manager talking about, oh, we value the product, that's a quality culture, right? So they use the methodology we talk about in the textbook to calculate the culture using these kind of so basically all the method, the word embedding we talk about in the textbook, and talk about cosine we talk about in the textbook. And so the idea here is the manager talk a lot in their conference call, right? And using this AI tool, machine learning tool, you can see whether manager care about product quality, whether manager care about teamwork, whether manager care about innovation. If you use the AI can tell a manager care about the dimension, that means the company has innovation culture, has a product culture. So basically the idea here is using the manager's narrative and using AI to measure whether these executive teams, they care about some of the values. So you can see it's not just one manager, right? You can see the early example. CEO is there, CFO is there, CTO is there. So most of the executives are in a conference call. If all these executives are care about this value, that means that's the culture of the firm, right? So you can see that this is one example. They're using the AI to analyze the narratives of managers to define the culture of the firms. And once you get the culture of the firms, you can do a lot of stuff, right? You can once you get culture, you can identify for job hunting. You guys eventually you want to get a job, right? You want to go to a company with good teamwork culture, right? So maybe before you apply, you can use the AI. I told you guys to analyze the culture of the company. And then, oh, this is a teamwork culture. I want to go to this firm. So you can help people to get a job. We target which company you want to work for. So there's a lot of use case you can do using the conference call. Defining culture is one, right? We're going to talk about some other culture stuff. So this is another example of using conference call. So let's look at this example here. So undeterred by the bad weather, we have experienced great sales growth in this quarter. So in this case, what does that mean is the manager talking about a conference call. Sometimes they talk about performance. Great sales growth, it's about performance. Sometimes it's just they just warm up. They just warm up the conversation. They said bad weathers. So as investors, what do you care? Investors, what do you care is you want to care about the performance talk. You don't care about this kind of like a warm-up talk, like ice-breaking talk. You don't want to care about that. So what you want to do is in a conference call setting, how do you know, like how do you get this kind of only performance-related talk? You want to take out this kind of like a distracting talk. That's one example I want to show you guys during the conference call, how you can do that, right? You can do that. So of course, if you use large language model, you can do that, right? Large language model, you can do that. But sometimes, like I said, for large language model, sometimes it's difficult to interpret the results. So here, what we do is we use a sub function of large language model called the dependence parser. That's the model I was talking about. So this one earlier before we have large language model, this is an independent model. But right now, large language model take all models in. So large language model is like a big umbrella. They're all useful model. They just take in and assemble together. So this model was an independent model. But once we have large learning model can you take all the useful model together under the same umbrella. So the idea here is what? Idea here is the manager talk about the sales performance, and manager also talk about something else. So you want to identify the performance related talk. You want to take out this weather related talk. So the idea, what we do is what you can do is you can generate the tree structure of the sentence. So what does that mean is the tree structure tell you the dependence of each word. So for example, you can see that great sales. So great multiply sales, and bad multiply weather. So using the tree structure, the AI can give you the tree structure of the sentence. Once you have the tree structure sentence, you can tell whether the bad is multiply weather, whether the great is multiplied sales. So use the tree structure, you can do that. So in that sense, let's look at the example again. So when manager talking about bad, if you use conventional textual analysis, use sentiment. When people say bad, people say great, you think it's a neutral sentence, right? Because bad is bad, it's negative. Great is positive. You add them together, it's neutral, right? However, if you have the tree structure, you know the bad modify the weather, you ignore it. And you know the great modify sales, you count it. So in that case, it become a positive sentence. So you can see that this is one interesting model. You can tell you exactly how we can get the right sentiment, right? So again, let me repeat one more time. So bad is negative, great is positive. If you just do this kind of average them out, it's a neutral sentence. But with this tree structure, you know the bad multiply weather, you don't care. You don't care weather, so gone. You don't need it. Great modify sales, or you count it, so it become positive sentence. So the tree structure is what AI can generate for you. With this tree structure, you can just identify the relevant sentiment instead of irrelevant sentiment. So let's look at this example one more time. So So let's look at this example. Okay, so we cannot say the sales growth was strong in Q1 as it declined consistently due to COVID-19. We are confident that you will bounce back next quarter. So you see, so the company is talking about sales growth was strong. If you look at cannot say, if you just do the sentiment, sales growth was strong, it's a positive, right? But actually it's the opposite. We cannot say sales growth is strong. So what do you have to do? What? You have to do the adjustment. You have to do the negation, the double negation. So basically, the negate the sales growth was strong. If you just count the sentiment of the strong, you will think, oh, this is good news. But they're actually saying what? We cannot say the sales growth is strong. So with the tree structure will tell you what? The tree structure will tell you the growth, the sales growth. It's a multifold each other, and the strong is connected to the sales, and the cannot it's negate strong. So the tree structure will tell you that the negation is related to strong, so help you to flip strong into weak. So this is the beauty of the tree structure. It's the beauty of the tree structure. So basically, if you just count the strong, you will give the misleading information, right? If you count strong, misleading information. But if you the tree structure, AI give you the tree structure. With the tree structure, you will know that the negation is on the strong, so you will flip them. Once you flip the strong, and you will get the right sentiment from sentence. So let's look at another example here. So we cannot say this is a same issue. This is the same issue, the negation. So what does this? You can see another example here. So we cannot say the sales growth was strong in Q1 as it declined consistent due to COVID. So what does it mean? With the tree structure, you will see the it refers to the sales growth. So that's the beauty of the tree structure. The tree structure can tell you everything. It tell you that which word multiply which word. The tree structure will tell you the it core reference to what. The tree structure can tell you the negation is on strong. the tree structure can tell you anything about the context and the syntax of sentence. With that information, you can calculate the right sentiment. So you have 3 things you can calculate. First, like early example, so with the tree structure, you can get the sentiment only related to performance. If the sentiment is related to weather, don't worry. Okay, that's the beauty of the tree structure. Another advantage of tree structure is negation. If it's a complex negation with the tree structure, you can adjust the negation to make things right. That's the good of tree structure. And the third advantage of tree structure is you can get all the core reference. They can tell you what it means. What does this, which word led, everything about the core reference, the tree structure can tell you. So these are the beauty of the tree structure. So they can give you the sentiment only related to the performance, and ignore this like weather, blah blah blah. You can just ignore that. And also tree structure will give you the the negation, the justify the complex negation. Also the tree structure will give you all these core references. So these are very powerful tools. It's very powerful. Like I told you guys, it was an independent tool, but now everything is in large language model. You can use the AI to produce the tree structure. You can do a lot of good things with this. So what we did in the paper is, you guys can check the textbook. What we did in the paper is we use this tree structure. What we do is we do the embedding. We do all this textual analysis. What we do is we separate sentiment into performance-related sentiment, and the sentiment related to weather, location, blah, blah, blah. So guess what? Which sentiment will have a higher prediction for future stock price? Of course, performance-related sentiment, right? So what we found is, once we separate the manager conversation into sentiment related to performance versus sentiment related to location, weather, we found the only thing work is the performance related, is the sentiment related to performance. So this is an easy using case for conference call. So I want you guys to take a look at all these examples to see what is going on. So basically the idea here is manager talk about so many things in a conference call. Manager talk about performance, manager talk about the weather, manager talk about location. Use a large language model, you can exactly pin down what's the conversation about performance, what's the conversation about location. And once you disaggregate the different conversation, you're just using the performance-related discussion, you can better understand the stock returns. And that's the domain knowledge we need. That's the accounting finance students. You need to understand these different topics, understand which topic worked, which topic didn't work. That's the second use case of the conference call.